What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. Also, hit that post notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. Guys, if you want to join my Wealth Builders financial community on Patreon, you know what to do. Get yourself down to the description box. Click on that first link, which is that Wealth Builders Financial Community Patreon link. It'll take you over to Patreon, and all you got to do at that point is sign up and come join the fastest growing financial community on Patreon. All we do in that community is talk to one another about building long-term wealth, getting to that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, creating that passive income thing. Because we know if we can get assets high enough that generate enough income, we get independence. We can get some financial independence, and that's what it's all about. So if you're in the matrix, all alone, got nobody to talk to, come join the Wealth Builders. We'd love to have you. Like I said, first link down in the description box. Click on that Wealth Builders Financial Community link. Take you over to Patreon to sign up. Send me a DM. Introduce yourself, and let's go to work. If you want some cash bonus, the folks at Webull, second link down in the description box, are willing to give you some cash bonus when you open a new Webull brokerage account. Now, if you put a certain amount of money in there, they got several different options, but if you put a certain amount of money in that new Webull brokerage account, they're going to give you some cash bonus. If you're interested in that offer, get to the second link, click on the Webull link. It'll give you all the explanation, open you a new account, and go get yourself some cash bonus. Well, guys, the stock market is crashing. And somebody asked me, should I be selling everything right now, Richard? And my answer to them is this. I'm not a financial advisor, and I can't tell you what to do. But I can tell you what I'm doing. I can tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy more. Why are you buying more, Richard? Because I believe fundamentally, when you look at the history of the stock market, it goes higher. See, anytime you come off of recent all-time highs, guys, it's not unusual for the stock market to pull back. It's not unusual for a period of consolidation and correction after a really, really tremendous all-time high run, right? So, is that an opportunity though? You got to answer that question. For Richard Fain, I think it's an opportunity. But let's talk a little bit about why is the stock market pulling back today? Let me give you a few things here to chew on. As of Tuesday, July 1, 2025, the U.S. stock market is not experiencing a crash, but rather a slight downturn or drift after a period of significant gains. While the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ have reached record highs in the previous 2 trading days, they were slightly lower early trading today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was also edging down, though only slightly. So here is why stocks are drifting lower today. And again, guys, this is not me trying to be an expert. This is me just giving you some research that I've done. And this is what I came up with. You go out and do your own research and come up with your own conclusion. But here's my conclusion from a non-professional. Here's my conclusion, not financial advice. Number one, reason why stocks are lower today is slowing momentum after record highs. Again, like I said, it's not unusual for the stock market to pull back, guys, when it reaches all-time highs. In my opinion, it's healthy for a period of consolidation and correction, right? So, number one reason, slowing momentum after record highs. The market is taking a breather after achieving record highs in recent trading sessions. Again, for me, that breather is an opportunity for me to plant seeds and look for a future harvest. Number 2 reason, market is lower today. Tesla's decline. The feud between Tesla CEO Elon Musk and President Donald Trump is impacting Tesla's stock, causing it to fall and pulling the overall market down, as it is a significant component of the S&P 500. Tesla is a Magnificent Seven company, guys. That means it's probably one of the top 10 to 12 most valuable companies in the world. And when you get a Magnificent Seven company, stock price starts going down. It's a big thing for what? The stock market. Why? Because these big old gigantic companies make up such a large portion of the valuation, the overall valuation of the stock market. Tesla's one of them. So when Tesla stock's coming down, it will typically pull down the S&P 500 index as well, right? Again, not an expert here, just giving you my research. You go out and do your own research and figure that out for yourself. So it says here, the feud between Tesla CEO Elon Musk and President Donald Trump is impacting Tesla's stock, causing it to fall and pulling the overall market down as it is a significant component of the S&P 500. Trump suggested scrutinizing government spending related to Musk companies, further escalating the dispute. Here's what's happening. Elon Musk continues to come out on social media and speak badly of the big, beautiful bill. President Trump don't like that. So anytime Elon comes out and says something against the big, beautiful bill, Trump will come out on social media and start threatening, we're going to start looking at your companies a little bit more and put the government on you, which is causing Tesla stock to go down. Number 3 reason why stocks are lower today. Upcoming tariff deadline. That's a huge one, guys. What you got is you got these big, gigantic investors. This is all my opinion now. This is not etched in stone. This is not trying to give you financial advice. This is just giving you my opinion on what's happening. You guys still got to go out and do your own homework. But the number 3 reason why I believe the market is coming down today is upcoming tariff deadline. There's ongoing uncertainty surrounding President Trump's tariffs, with a deadline for their reintroduction approaching on July 9th. Many proposed import taxes are currently paused, but could soon go into effect. Remember, if we go back, Liberation Day, April 2nd, remember President Trump came out on national TV with this big old sign saying all these 60 countries gonna have gigantic tariff tax. He paused that, of course, a few days later, he paused it. And now all of a sudden the pause is supposed to come off on July 9th. And he is starting to say again, hey, if we don't got deals with these countries, we're just gonna go back to the April 2nd tariff tax, which was huge. The market is starting to anticipate that and getting a little uncomfortable with that. Because remember, 90 deals in 90 days, but we got no deals in 90 days. 90 days will be July 9th. No deals. No deals. So the market is not comfortable with that. So people are starting to do what? De-risk. What does de-risk mean? Giving you my opinion now. You go out and do your own homework and figure that out for yourself. But my opinion, de-risk simply means they're starting to reposition where their money is and maybe move it to safety until they can figure out what's going to happen on July 9th. Some people are doing that. Again, is that an opportunity for others? For me, I believe it's an opportunity to plant seeds because I believe the stock market fundamentally goes higher, right? Even though it does have pullbacks and periods of correction, fundamentally it goes higher. That's my opinion now. You go out and do your own homework. Go out and do your own homework. 1, 2, 3. Number four reason that I believe the market is down today is this: concerns about future economic data. Investors are awaiting new economic data, particularly the labor market data expected later in the week. Later in the week. So we got what? The jobs report for June coming out, guys. And people are starting to position themselves to say, what's going to happen with the labor report, the jobs report for June? Will we start seeing a further weakening in the labor market? So now people are starting to position themselves and says, okay, we've had this historic run over the last several trading days. We've had some great profits. Let's go ahead and pull back and let this thing settle itself out. The labor report, the jobs report, whatever you want to call it, the whole tariff thing, let's let that settle out too, and then we'll get back in. Some people are taking that approach, guys, right? There are concerns that these numbers might not be positive. They're talking about what? The jobs report for June, guys. So there are investors out there don't believe we're going to get good news later this week and for the June jobs report. Right? There are concerns that these numbers might not be positive, especially after previous weeks and months showed some signs of weakening in the labor market. So that's the fourth reason why I believe the market is down today. And then the fifth reason, Senate deliberations on the tax bill, AKA the big beautiful bill. Some people call it the big ugly bill. You call it whatever you want to call it. Investors are also monitoring Senate budget negotiations and the ongoing debate surrounding a significant tax bill. So those are your 5 things right there, man, that I believe are really causing the consolidation and the correction right now we're seeing in the market. Again, I ask the question, is that an opportunity for somebody to plant seeds? You got to answer that question. For me, it certainly is an opportunity to plant seeds. That's the way I look at it. So in summary, the market is experiencing a slight decline today due to the combination of factors, including a pause after recent gains, company-specific news regarding Tesla, upcoming trade deadlines, and anticipation of potentially unfavorable economic indicators. It is not a crash like the one experienced in April after Liberation Day 2025 due to aggressive tariff policies. Well, hey man, I don't know what you're talking about there, buddy, because Palantir is trading at $129 a share. And, 3-4 days ago, it was almost $148 a share. I just think that's an opportunity for somebody, guys. I don't know who, but somebody might look at that as an opportunity. A guy like me. And the reason I look at it as an opportunity is because I bought 7,500 shares this morning of Palantir at 129. Yeah, planted a seed. What does that mean? I don't know, guys. I just know I got to build my wealth. I just know that I can't sit around and just be terrified and scared for the rest of my life. I got to be able to get out here and do big boy things to make big boy money. And again, I might lose. But I bought 7,500 shares of Palantir this morning at 129. We'll see. We'll see, right? I make that decision because I thought it was in the best interest of me building my wealth long term. You got to figure out what's right for you and yours. I don't know what that is. Only you know. You got to get out there and make things happen. My job here is not to give you financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy on YouTube who shares his experiences with you guys, right? Right now, you got Palantir at $130.15. what I often like to do with my wealth builders is I like to go look at the numbers. So where do I find my numbers? I go right to Yahoo Finance. And my wealth builders who pop in and out of these videos will know that. So what do I like to do? I like to go and look at the numbers. Let's go ahead and look at Palantir's numbers. When I say numbers, guys, I'm talking about the stock price. So I go and I pull up Palantir and I go to historical data. Once I bring up the historical data, I can quickly go down the historical data and see what the stock price has been over the last year. It pretty much gives me every trading day for the last year on Palantir. So I can look at where the stock has been, where it could potentially go, right? And it looks as though, on June 26, it had an all-time high of $148.21. That was on June 26, just a handful of days ago. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means for a guy like me, it means that the stock has potential. I don't know if it'll ever get back to 148 again. I have no idea. But I can say it has done it. So if it's done it before, potentially there's an opportunity for it to do it again, right? My job here is not to time the market and try to, oh my God, it's going to fall more. If it falls more, it falls more. I can't control that. Only thing I can control is my opportunity to plant a seed where I'm comfortable planting the seed. And at 129 a share, I was comfortable planting the seed. So we'll see if the seed grows into a beautiful fruit tree that I can harvest. We'll see. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I do know one thing. If I sit here on the sideline and not do something to try to build my wealth, then I'm not going to build no wealth. I'm going to sit here and let all the wealth pass me by, and somebody else will build it, right? So at some point, I have to execute. And I'm okay executing, right? But that's where, some people, what changed with Palantir? I don't think anything changed. I think exactly the 5 reasons I just gave you, in my opinion, why the market is lower today. The same 5 reasons I gave you, I think, are the same 5 reasons that apply to Palantir and any other company out there. Palantir had a nice run up to an all-time high. What happens when these companies run up to an all-time high? Some investors decide to take profit, right? It's all about supply versus demand, right? The more demand for Palantir stock, in my opinion, increases the value per share of the stock. Less demand, stock price comes down. More demand, stock price goes up, because there are only so many shares out there. There are not infinite shares out there of Palantir stock. It's only so many shares. So when demand is really, really strong for this stock, guess what happens? Stock price goes up. When there is less demand for the stock, like it is now, stock price goes down. But for a guy like me that believes there will be demand again for this stock, I go ahead and execute and plant the seed. That's the way I look at this whole thing, right? I look at fundamentally, has anything changed? And I talk about this a lot with my wealth builders. We talk about market behavior, we talk about market manipulation, and then we talk about what? Business performance. See, if there's truly business performance issues with Palantir, then I'm in trouble, right? I'm in trouble, but I'm a big boy and I take full responsibility for that if I get in trouble, because I didn't do my research and I didn't figure out if there were business performance issues. But I did do my research, and my research doesn't show business performance issues. What my research indicates is there's market behavior happening right now. Market behavior based on those 5 reasons I gave you earlier. That's my opinion. You guys got to go out and do your own homework and do your own fact finding and figure out what you believe. But from my end, I believe that it's not business performance issues. I think it's market behavior based on potential tariffs coming back July 9th, next week. Y'all know how President Trump is. He just do whatever he want to do. So he could say 100% tariffs on everybody. You know how he'll say that. Now, whether we'll keep it or not, doesn't matter. It's perception, right? See, he can say one thing and the market is going to react. And then next day he can pull it back. But oopsie, market already declined. And I'm not saying he'll do that. I'm just saying if he did, he certainly is within his scope of doing whatever he wants to do. He's president of the United States, controls the Senate, controls Congress, controls the Supreme Court, controls the White House, controls the military, everything. He controls it. So he can do whatever he want to do, right? He can do whatever he want to do. And one of the things he can do is say, hey, tariffs are going to be this. And if the market perceives that as a bad thing for business, for consumers, guess what the market going to do? Sell off. So you got to be prepared for that on July 9th or whenever he decides to come out and say whatever he's going to say. You got to be prepared for that. But one thing I believe, though, and I go back to April 2nd, Liberation Day, when he came out with all those crazy tariffs. Guess what the market did within 2 months? Recovered. And then within 3 months, guess where the market was? All-time highs again. So I fundamentally believe no matter what he says, yes. Will the market pull back, consolidate, correct? Yes. But eventually what happens? Go back up. Why? Because people got to get back in. Investors got to get back in. Because really, is it fundamentally something wrong with the companies or is it just market behavior? I think it's market behavior, right? Now, will tariffs increase inflation? We don't know yet. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know. But ultimately, the stock market is about going higher, in my opinion. And ultimately, it goes higher. Liberation Day, today. Right? You take about Liberation Day, 3 months later, boom, S&P hits an all-time high. NASDAQ hits an all-time high. Palantir hits an all-time high. NVIDIA hits an all-time high. Right? So ultimately, in my opinion, we'll be fine. That's my opinion now. You got to go out and do your own research and figure out what you want to figure out. But I'm betting that Palantir goes back up higher than 129 at some point in the future. Do I have a crystal ball and can tell you when that's going to happen? No. But I believe fundamentally a company like Palantir, who in my opinion doesn't have any business performance issues that I know of. And again, I'm not an expert here. So if they do, you go out and find them and make a decision for yourself, because I'm not the expert. I'm just a guy that did a little bit of homework and I made the determination there are no business performance issues. I made the determination it's market behavior right now, based on a lot of different factors that I've already covered. So you got to figure out what you believe. You got to go out and do your homework and figure out what you believe in this, and to see if there's an opportunity for you to do something. And if it's not an opportunity and you just want to sit on the sideline, then sit on the sideline, guys. Nothing wrong with that. It's your wealth. You do whatever you want to do, right? But when I got a question this morning saying, hey man, why is the market crashing? And should I sell it all? My goal was to say, well, let's take a look at that from my perspective. And let's see if it's really crashing from my perspective and what I'm going to be doing. I can't tell anybody else what to do. I can only tell you guys is what I'm doing. And I just told you what I did. I went and bought me 7,500 shares of Palantir at 129. Boom, I'm in. And I already got other stuff in the short-term portfolio that's already planted. So I'm good. I'm all in, man. I'm all in and I'm okay with that. I go to sleep at night comfortable because I know history tells me as long as I'm patient, the market delivers. That's what history tells me. It may not be your history, but my history says as long as I'm patient, the market delivers, right? Traders are hoping for details between the U.S. and its trading partners as Trump's 90-day reprieve on his steepest tariffs is set to expire next week, right? That's what the market's waiting on. A lot of people are saying, you know something, we had a really, really good run, all-time highs in the S&P, all-time highs in some of our favorite individual stocks. Let's take a little profit, pull back, and let this thing settle out with the labor report, the jobs report. Let's let this thing settle out with the tariff thing on July 9th, and then boom, let's get back in this thing. So again, let me give you my 5. Here are my 5 reasons that I believe personally, no expert here, not financial advice, but here are the 5 reasons real quick before I get out of here why I believe the market is down today. Number 1, slowing momentum after record highs. Number 2, Tesla's decline. And of course, that's because Elon Musk and President Trump are on social media at each other, right? Number 3, upcoming tariff deadline. Will we go back to April 2nd tariff prices or tariff tax on July 9th? Because that's the deadline. We already know President Trump has went on record saying, you know, he's going to go ahead and send most of these people a letter and just tell them what they're going to have to pay. We'll see. But that's another reason. That's your 3rd reason why the market is a little light today. 4th reason, concerns about future economic data, specifically jobs report for June. It's coming out. I believe the jobs report is coming out. I want to say the jobs report for June is coming out this week, I think. Let's see here. Jobs report for June 2025. See when that's coming out. What does it say here? When is that coming out? I don't know. It doesn't say yet. We got to figure out when that's coming out. But I'm thinking sometime this week. Let's see. I'm thinking sometime this week it comes out. I'm trying to figure it out here, but y'all know how this Google thing is sometimes. You can't get stuff to do what you tell it to do. Let me try it one more time. What date is the June 2025 jobs report coming out? Let's see here. July 3rd at 8:30, which I believe that's Thursday. What's today? Tuesday? Yeah, that's Thursday. So Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, you're going to get the June jobs report. And a lot of folks, a lot of investors are concerned about that. Here's what it says. It says investors are awaiting the new economic data, particularly the labor market data expected later this week, right? July 3rd, Thursday. There are concerns that these numbers might not be positive. So what do you got? You got tariffs. You got the problem with Elon and President Trump, which is bringing down Tesla. It's a big boy company. So when Tesla stock comes down, it affects the S&P, all right? You also got, of course, the tariff thing, July 9th. You got the jobs report, July 3rd. And then you got the big, beautiful bill, or some people call it the big, ugly bill. So those are the reasons, man. Y'all have to go do your own homework, figure that thing out for yourself. I'm just here to shed a little light on what I believe. I appreciate y'all rocking with me for this few minutes. I hope you guys have the rest of a wonderful day. Again, my job here is not to tell you what to do. My job here is just to simply let you know what I believe and what my research has brought me to. I believe the market is having a short little correction, consolidation, and I believe it will recover at some point in the near future. And I think it'll go higher. That's my opinion. Thus the reason why I went ahead and bought 7,500 shares of Palantir at 129 today. I'm all in, man. And again, if it's the wrong move, I'll live with it. But if it's the right move, I'm gonna live with that too. Get a little bit of cha-ching. So y'all better do something, man, because the only way you free yourself from all this whole thing is you got to have some financial independence, baby. You got to have some assets that actually generate income to take care of you. If you ain't got that, you ain't got nothing. You better figure out where this country is headed, baby. You better start figuring out where this country is headed. If you don't have assets to protect yourself in this country, you're going to be in trouble. All your social services are going to be wiped out. All that free stuff, they ain't going to have that no more. There going to be none of this free stuff. Oh, golly, I stubbed my big toe and I can't work for 6 months, but I'm going to collect. No, you ain't going to have that no more. You better figure out which way this country is headed. And the country is headed, either you have or you have not. There ain't going to be no more of this middle class stuff. These people ain't messing around who is in office right now. This administration ain't messing around. These people are not messing around with this Project 2025. They ain't messing around. So either you're going to have you some wealth or you're going to be in trouble. I'm just telling you. You better get you some wealth or you're going to be in trouble. Get down to the description box, first link, Wealth Builders Financial Community on Patreon. If you want to come join us, man. Click on that first link. It'll take you over to Patreon. Sign up. Come join us, man. All we do in that community is try to help each other build wealth. We're not experts. We don't try to tell you what to do. We're just there to be a support system for anybody that's trying to build wealth the traditional way by taking hard-earned money that they earn and putting it in something that could potentially multiply it for them. If you want to be a part of that, come on, join us. If you don't want to be a part of it, don't join us. Stay in the matrix and do it by yourself. It's on you. Like I said, good folks at Webull are offering some cash bonus for anybody that opens up a new Webull brokerage account and put a certain amount of money deposited into their new brokerage account. They're willing to give them a cash bonus for that. Second link down in the description box. Go check out the link. It'll give you all the details. If you want to take advantage of that, take advantage of it. If you don't, don't. All good with me, man. My job here is to just try to provide tools. If you don't want the tools, don't use them. Do it by yourself. Right? If you stop by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing, share the video, smash the like button. Thoughts become things. See it in your mind. Hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness. Never stop believing in yourself. Stay healthy, man. And by all means, get wealthy. Because if you ain't got some level of wealth that creates some income for yourself, baby, woo, gonna be in a world of trouble in this world. Peace.